I hope you listened to the NVIDIA earnings call on Wednesday evening. It really gives you a total understanding of what is happening and what is going to happen in the stock market in the coming months. Jensen and his staff make it very clear, but to some it may not be, that this is not an AI rally. This has nothing. It has something to do with AI, but that's not what's driving this. This is a data center build out. NVIDIA had made a ton of money, and it wasn't from you and I. I did not buy a GPU chip this last quarter, and I doubt if you did either. But who did, and he shares with you, his biggest customer is Mark Zuckerberg, Meta. Meta bought more GPUs than anybody else, followed by Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Apple. So this was an exchange of money between the largest tech companies in the world and NVIDIA. And also participating in that was Supermacro Computer, who gave you a nice ride down, a nice ride up, gave a lot of people an opportunity to buy back in and participate in it. The other thing that Jensen mentioned that I think you really need to focus on is this is probably going to go on for another 5 years. He said that, yeah, we're building out the English language, large language platforms, but every language has to be built out. And thus that once it's built out, you have to build a data center or change all the data centers to accommodate this new accelerated computing. So he's right, as I'd interpret it, it'll go on for another 5 years as not only Google, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft spend money with Jensen, they all do. So even though NVIDIA's high, and maybe you didn't get into it, and even though Supermacro is high and you didn't get into it, when it comes down, and it will, there will be some event that will scare the market and they'll come down. My advice would be add to your holdings. Now, I think the other thing that really shows some opportunity here is that there are some other semiconductor stocks or semiconductor-related stocks that are depressed right now. Their prices are down because you didn't buy a new phone, you didn't buy a new electric vehicle, you didn't buy a new toaster or refrigerator or microwave, and so their business is down. They're not rebuilding the data centers. But the reality is, as that data center gets up and running, it's going to need the other equipment by the other semiconductor companies. So I've identified them in my BUS 13 portfolio. And what I have now decided I need to do is to go and look not so much at I need to own NVIDIA. I'd be better off owning Air Test Systems, whose sales are down from 50% growth to 25% growth, and their price is down some 50% as a result of that. But once you do buy your phone and once you do buy your toaster, their sales will go up, and I'll get more exponential growth on my money than if it's sitting in NVIDIA. So I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, okay, NVIDIA might go up an extra 30% this year, but if I'm in Air Test Systems, I could get an extra 100% growth because it's so depressed. There are several other that way. So what I've been doing is going through my cheat sheet, the 32 stocks that I believe are the biggest participants in this build out, and I'm saying, okay, which ones are depressed and should I buy in? As an example, and this is Palo Alto Systems went down 27% because they announced what I knew is they're not participating in this because, again, this is a data center build out. You have not bought any AI in the last quarter or the last year since November. But all of these companies got a just a surge of interest on November the 1st when Sam Altman came up and said, hey, I've got this thing called AI. And as everybody got excited about it, these stocks went up because they said, well, Salesforce will be a big part of that, and Palo Alto Systems and Palantir will be a big part of that. But now we're waking up and saying, hey, the system isn't built yet. The data centers aren't built yet, so their sales will lag behind and will not grow. So as the world wakes up to that and moves the money more directly into the data center build out and away from those companies who are going to sell the artificial intelligence, the cybersecurity people, the software companies, they will come later. Right now, the money is in that data center. Right now, the buyers are your big tech companies. They're the ones who have to do that. Now, as that moves forward, that will spread internationally, and that will give us opportunities. But again, find the companies. I did a thing on no one's buying AI. Well, in that list of companies, I gave you some, such as Air Test Systems, Micron, Adobe. I'm not ready for Adobe yet because I'm not ready to spend a bunch of money on Adobe to make my videos for me because I don't have the computer that can do that yet. I don't have a GPU in my computer, so I'm not buying Adobe. Now maybe some Paramount Studios may buy Adobe software, but there aren't that many Paramount Studios as there are of you and I. You and I will drive this. So until we buy the computer that will accommodate AI and general learning systems, it isn't going to reach those stocks. So I'm going onto my cheat sheet and I'm saying, okay, here's 37 stocks. Here's what it's selling at now. I want to find those stocks that will give me at least a 25% growth in 2024. And then I'll work on 2025 at some other time. So I've got to find some undervalued stocks as opposed to overvalued stocks. I've got to find what is their fair price in the market today and what is their price today and at what price do I have to buy it in order for me to get at least a 25% increase in price, in investment. So that's what I'm doing. And so how do I do that? Well, again, I use both financials. I study the financials. I subscribe to a number of services who basically tell me what do they feel based on their analysis of financials. What do they feel the fair value of this stock is today? Is it overvalued or is it undervalued? Okay, I put that into my system. Then I go to Zacks and I say, okay, what do the analysts, the Wall Street analysts feel the fair value of this stock is relative to its current price? I put that on my cheat sheet. Then I go to Seeking Alpha and I find out what are the company's projected earnings growth over the next year and in 25 as well, and I put that into it. Now I come down and say, okay, if the fair value of this stock is at the end of 2025 is $100 and it's currently at $75 a share, what do I have to buy it at in order to get the return that I want? That at least 25%. What price do I have to buy it at? I enter that into my cheat sheet, and then I wait. Because something's going to happen. Jerome's going to do something that scares everybody, or Janet's going to do something that scares everybody, or maybe it'll be Xi Jinping, or it'll be Vladimir Putin, or maybe it'll be Joe Biden. I don't know. But something will trigger this price to drop, and it'll trigger my buy price, and I'll have my order good till cancel in there at my price, and it'll trigger. Okay? That's what I'm doing. I don't really care whether it's NVIDIA or it's pure power systems. I don't care. It's just money. And I want to put it where it will grow the fastest. And in order to do that, I just need to analyze the stocks on a financial basis, on a technical basis, and put my orders in. Okay, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I don't play golf. I don't hunt. I don't fish. I do this, and I enjoy the hell out of it. I hope you do too, because it's a game. I mean, it is a game. I'm not Patrick Mahomes. I can't throw a football, and I'm not Seth Curry. But I can learn how to trade stocks, invest in companies that have a future. That's what I do. That's my game. If you'd like to play the game, we're trying to turn it into a team sport. We do that at our tribe. Tomorrow I'll have a meeting, that would be Friday. I hold a stock talk. I invite my followers in. We sit down on Zoom call, and we talk about this. And I share with them in depth my ideas. They ask questions, I give answers, and that's how we do it. We usually charge $60 a month for that program, as well as access to the cheat sheets. And I bought some stocks today, and so I send out trade alerts. So all of this is available to you at a discount now of 50%, $30 a month. You'll find the coupon in the description, and come give us a go. See if this isn't a better way. Don't chase NVIDIA. Don't chase super macro. Look at the stocks that are cheap right now because of some circumstances that they find themselves in. What are those circumstances? Again, you didn't buy an EV in the last quarter, and you didn't buy a toaster, and you didn't buy a new phone. You've put it off. Inflation, higher prices, interest rates, you aren't buying right now. But once you do, they will come back because they are going to be the beneficiaries of Jensen's GPUs and Amazon and Google and Microsoft's $1 billion. It's what it cost, $1 billion a piece for a data center. And they got 200 of them a piece. Google has 200. I'm going to try to get, I just learned Meta has a data center, a huge data center up in Huntsville, Alabama, and I've written them, and I'm going to see if I can't get a tour of their data center, and I'll take you along with me. All right, I got to take my wife to the therapist, so I'll talk to you again tomorrow.